Hi, I want to discuss with you education, and especially I want to talk with Eric about how we how I should write a book, and I want to listen to your thoughts or hear your thoughts about my thoughts, my early thoughts about how I will write a book. First of all, education is central for our lives. It's part of our what we call identity and how we relate to society and who we are, and based on the fact that we can do something about it, it's meaningful for the majority of people of life, but we don't know how to build an education or how to create an education based on the fact that we don't know what's right for us, and there are solutions that are suboptimal, that don't create the best optimal version of each individual. And when we consider that education as information can do something about society, we can learn, for example, that we can read that racism is bad, hence we can change our behavior, how we interact with other people. And based on the fact that we live in a free society and we can create our lives, we believe in progress. We as Quillet believe in progress, and we believe that we have to make progress for in our life and have to improve the life of others. Hence, we need to create the ability to do that. When we can educate people on how to make improvements on their lives, then we create the ability to we educate people on how to become somebody that is building a life around the fact that we have to make progress and we have to become better versions of ourselves. Everyone who goes to school believes that, or he is forced to become a better version of themselves by learning facts and by learning. And I see that the intolerance, such as children have, when they learn to walk, they are very tolerant to frustration. The frustration intolerance or tolerance is quite high, and in school we get discouraged sometimes. And what happened with me is that I was too aggressive intellectually when I learned, because my IQ is quite high, and then I stopped learning because teachers didn't realize that I'm quite smart, that they thought because I gave up that I'm not smart. And then I learned several years nothing, and I just relaxed in school and had negative emotions because I I was quite bored. I couldn't learn anything and I was bored, and then I couldn't learn anything anymore. I lost the ability to learn, and I very much gave up on school. But this is not the life we have to live, and you don't have to live this life, Eric. You have the ability with me and Claire that you can live a good educational life, and you read books, and this is quite good. Reading books is something good when you get educated, when you gain knowledge. I think that's something very meaningful for children and for your life. But I want to talk with you about how to learn from other people. You need a social environment where you can learn, and I don't know which age you have to build which capability. You don't have the thinking capabilities yet. You can't write probably. You have some. You're probably verbally gifted, is my guess, because the majority of people are verbally gifted. Hence, you are probably verbally gifted. You are quite smart, and you have the learning capability. You have the curiosity that is not destroyed, and Claire takes care of you. Claire makes sure that you will learn a lot and you will create a bunch of knowledge. You will become knowledgeable, and therefore you have the capability to make sense out of your knowledge, or you might will create the ability to make sense out of your knowledge. Hence, you you become quite an intelligent guy who is hopefully also good looking, and hopefully you will lift some weights and have muscles, and then you of course then women are attracted to you when you when you are knowledgeable, and when you have me as your father and Claire as your mother, then the women are attracted to you. When you get billions from us, when we die someday, and and also when you we haven't talked about it yet, how we give you money, and how much money should we give you, because these rich children they don't live the optimal life. They create the ability to or they don't create abilities, they create consumption patterns and a standard of living that is above the average life. And when you have this, then you don't necessarily live the life of improvement and the life of making differences in other people's lives. And people are people don't become the best versions of themselves, and we don't have to consider that, or we don't have to think of that. People have to become the best version of themselves. They have to become a better version than they were yesterday, like Jordan Peterson would say. I don't know if you have heard of him or if you have watched his videos, but because you're quite young and you're mentally healthy, and when you're young, you're generally mentally healthy. These mental health issues come later, and you will probably have some kind of mental health issues, and over time you will develop your preferences, what exactly you want to do with your life. And as far as I know, you want to become a doctor or you want to become a biologist. These are your two most interesting fields. I myself, I'm also interested in medicine. Why I started everything, and I don't know if you know the firm Cleanwell. You can Google it. I will send you a message. And I become interested in medicine from a later age, and this wasn't quite the most usual thing somebody from my background would do. But over the time, I realized that there was something wrong in my education, and I created the ability to, when I was older, I I learned to do research. I learned some basic things, and there are okay. My here are some thoughts of my from my book. Education is there are you can you can create education around several clusters. Do you know what a cluster is? Do you know what a cluster fist is? And you have to create the ability to there are several options on how you can create your ability to or how you can educate yourself. I will make a next video.